Hello, this is Manesh Patel from ichimokutrade.com. Today is September 1st, 2014. This is our bi-weekly Ichimoku analysis for all the global markets, where we go through everything from Europe to Middle East to Asia to North and South America. Okay, for people in the US, happy Labor Day. Normal procedures. This is our disclaimer to state this is for education use only. We're not soliciting you to buy or sell any particular instrument. If you do so, you're doing that at your own risk. All the charts today you're going to see are basically from eSignal, from Interactive Data. Here are our contact details here, where you could email us here at info@eiicapital.com, or you could call us at any of our global office locations here. You could also access our website here, ichimokutrade.com. Access all our trading tools there. We have a lot of things from scanners to multiple time frame email alerts, reports that you could generate based on filtering for scanners, heat maps, a lot of video tutorials too, and so forth. If you guys haven't seen our institutional report we put out twice a year, where we pretty much forecast all the global instruments, and you could see the reading there with charts and stuff like that. There's a link for the download, or you could just log into the website and it's also available there. Okay, let's go straight to eSignal. And if you guys remember, on the left hand side is basically the daily time frame, and the right hand side is the weekly time frame. We focus mainly on the weekly due to trying to get a long-term picture of what's going on. So let's start off in Europe. We always start off in Ireland. If you look at Ireland here, nice big trend here. It's gone through its major pullback, kind of held the 59.92 level here. Didn't quite touch it, but kind of got very, very close to it, but still got to the 6,000 level, which is a nice even number, and now it's going back all the way up here. The 64.86 level is going to be critical. If it holds, then it's going to sit there and come back down here to the 59.92. If it breaks it, then it's going to retest the high and possibly keep on going higher than that. So that's a very critical level for the major pullback to determine exactly which way it's going. So you got a resistance level that's coming up, which is around 64.86. The minor one's going to be around 64.29. So it'd be interesting to see exactly what happens. There's high probability here at 64.86 to get there, bounce off there, and come down to at least about 62.36, and then that's going to be the question of what's going to happen after that. But either way, this is still a bullish trend. It's just undergoing its first major pullback after a very long time. UK is a little different. The thing's still consolidating. You can see the big consolidation pattern between 64.49 and 68.79. The middle is going to be 66.52. You could see here it didn't quite test the low here, since it kind of didn't go back down to the bottom of the consolidation pattern, kind of almost held here. It could sit there and make another run here, and then break it. If it sits there and gets this resistance here very fast, then I think it's going to sit there and bounce off there. If it pulls back to 66.93 and then goes up to retest that 68.79 level, then we got a higher probability of breaking it. But right now, it looks the way it is. Germany, you could see here, this is a major trend here that it went through, major bullish trend. It underwent a pullback. The pullback's kind of still very it's minor, not still completely strong, but we're at a very critical level now to determine if the pullback's over or if it's going to sit there and continue to pull back some more. So we're at a major resistance at 94.83, which is a major resistance. If it breaks that, it's going to go to 97.97, and then possibly could sit there and retest the high at 10,000 again. But this is very critical. If we sit there and hold this resistance level, then we got a high probability of coming back down, and then possibly getting to this 86.04 level, which we think we could sit there and easily get to. So this is going to be interesting to see exactly what happens here. But if you look at it short-term picture, this does look like an ugly consolidation pattern. That's pretty much happened at the beginning of the year. But if you look at it overall for the last couple of years, this is a bullish trend, and it's finally gone for its first major pullback. Pairs, you could see here, trending here, bullish trend here too. a little unlike the German market, not kind of ugly consolidation pattern. This is a nice little smooth pullback here that you have. It pulled back all the way down to a little below about 4,100 or so forth. Didn't quite get to our support at 40.44, but fell short of that. So that means it's still very strong. As far as the bullish momentum is concerned, and you could see that how it broke the resistance at 43.46 level. So this thing looks like it's trying to retest the high. Whether it comes back and retest the high completely or falls short of it, we don't know, but the next resistance level is going to be 44.27. We are expecting a pullback at least to about 42.75 before it sits there and tries to make a move for that pivot high up here or close to it. So right now, if you look at it as far as pairs trading concerned, remember we always been talking about going long German market and short pairs. The pairs market actually looks stronger than the German right now, so it's kind of inverted a little. Switzerland. Okay, if you look at Switzerland here, bullish trend here, really has not gone for a major pullback yet, believe it or not. It looks ugly, but still has not. It's retesting the high here, 87.50. Ideally, we kind of needed to pull back to either 85.91 or this 84.03 level before it sits there and breaks this resistance. But right now, it's making a move for that resistance, so we'll have to see exactly what happens here. But most likely, it'll probably sit there and bounce off there and enter a consolidation pattern. The big consolidation pattern here is going to be 87.50 and then the 81.24, 82.39 for the Switzerland market. Iceland here, you can see how strong this is. Bullish trend here, undergoing a major pullback. The pullback was kind of weak, so this is still got a lot of strong momentum to a point. It has a high probability of breaking this 399 level, which is pretty much approaching very, very fast. Notice how it broke this resistance at 387 and kind of held above it. So this is right here is making a move to sit there and break this 399 level. So I wouldn't be surprised if this sits there and breaks it at the 400 and keeps on going higher. So keep an eye out for Iceland in the next couple of weeks. Let's go to Baltic. The Baltic market here, you could see, let's shrink this down some. It was going for a bullish trend here, went for a first major pullback, which is this 574 level. This is critical now to kind of see exactly what happens. Will this be a pullback or will it be a trend reversal? If it breaks that, then this is going to enter a trend reversal where it can come all the way back down to about 550, 545. The key resistance level it has to break to keep up to come back and retest this high or get close to retesting the high is this 603. Sorry, this 603, which believe it or not is actually now moved down to about here. So 594 is the major resistance level. It has to sit there and break that without breaking the support. If it does, then it'll sit there and this bullish momentum is still strong. If it breaks the support, then this is going to turn into a trend reversal. So keep an eye on this one for sure, because it's at a very critical junction right now, whether it changes sentiments from being bullish to being bearish or consolidating. Denmark, opposite, you can see here is still very, very strong. This still has not gone for a major pullback at all. Kind of held the 706 level, which was a minor support. It's making a move now to 749 and can sit there and possibly break that level. We do expect a small pullback of rounds to probably about 726 or 720 before it sits there and breaks it. But if it's extremely strong, it's just going to sit there and break it without even pulling back. So Denmark's still very strong. Finland is still strong too. Not as strong as Denmark, but still very strong. Still has not gone for a pullback, but you could see a little weakness here by penetrating the support here. It was a minor support. The major one was around 72.42, which it kind of held, and now it looks like it's going back up here. It's critical. This resistance here is 76.47. It breaks that resistance and starts to close higher. If it doesn't, this is going to fall and this is going to undergo its first major pullback. But the Finland market's looking like it's trying to do its first major pullback compared to Denmark. So that'll be interesting to see. Norway here is still very strong, very similar to Denmark, but still Denmark's still leading the way because it's getting closer to retesting the pivot high compared to Norway. Here it held a minor support at 651. The major one was at 645, and it looks like it's trying to get to 701, but it has to break the minor resistance level of 668. Belgium, Belgium here, you could see is very strong. Actually, looks like it broke the resistance here a little, but it's kind of hanging around here at 31.82. So this is very, very similar to Denmark. So Belgium and Denmark are very strong, and Iceland looks like it could sit there and break out too soon. Sweden, if you look at Sweden here, still has not gone for a major pullback, but it is kind of weak. It's trying to approach the 1407 resistance level. It held a major resistance at 1324. Netherlands, this has gone for its major pullback. It was very weak, so this still has a lot of strong bullish momentum in it, to a probability it could sit there and still break the 418 level, which is trying to approach very fast. Spain, if you look at Spain here, this is still an ugly bullish trend, believe it or not. It's still going up, up, up. It's still got a lot of bullish momentum in there. Major support right now, minor support is going to be 55.26. Major is going to be 54.21. And this thing is still traversing, going up. We're expecting a pullback right now before it continues. And that pullback is going to kind of gauge to see exactly where it's at. But this is still very strong going up. Greece, you could see here bullish trend here, gone for a major pullback, kind of held 1500/1570 was the major pullback level, which it kind of held. It's approaching our major resistance level of 1767 to kind of determine what's going to happen now. If it breaks that resistance level, it could sit there and come back up here and enter a big nice little consolidation pattern before it decides it wants to break up or break down. If it holds that level here and then comes back to 1570 and breaks it, this major pullback is gonna turn into a trend reversal. So be very careful. It'll be interesting to see exactly what happens with Greece in the next couple of weeks. Portugal here. This is one ugly pattern here that you could see from this big trend here, and you guys could see that here. This pullback is kind of like a severe pullback. It pulled back all the way down to 10,972. So the probabilities of retesting the high are going to be slim. We won't know until it gets back above to the major resistance level of 13,063. That's kind of the critical do or die on it, the momentum changing from bearish to bullish. Major support is here. If it breaks this, then this is going to start a trend reversal. So we're kind of expecting this to pull back up to at least about 12,720, and then the second major one would be 13,063. If it holds this level here at 12,720 level and then starts to make a move down to here, to get back to about 11,000, then it's got a high probability of breaking it and continuing to go down. The probabilities on this right here to start a bearish trend are going to be high now, moving forward. So definitely keep an eye on this market to sit there, and Portugal to sit there and start reversing to go bearish trend in the next couple of weeks / couple of months. Portugal still bullish trend. Italy bullish trend here. Underwent its first major pullback to about 19,000 level. It's approaching a major resistance level right now, which is right here at 20,722. If it breaks that, then it's going to have a high probability of getting back up to here and breaking it. If it holds it, then it's going to sit there and come all the way back down, and it'll go into this cloud and get close to about 18,500, which would be the major pullback level. And then at that point, we'll have to see exactly where it stands. So the Italy market is approaching a major resistance level, which would be interesting to see. Austria here, believe it or not, this is a bullish trend, and this is its first pullback here. But you could see when it topped out here, this is a major consolidation pattern, which has been undergoing for the last couple of months here, or for the last couple of months going back to last year. 2190 is the bottom of the consolidation pattern. The top is kind of been squeezing down, down, down. Now the resistance level is 2551 is a major resistance level here. This is sitting there, have a high probability of sitting there retesting this low here. So we do have a probability of getting back down to 2190. And at that point, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But probabilities of it breaking it this time are very high. So watch out for the Austria market to start a bearish trend to the downside. Czechoslovakia Here it's just consolidating between 924 and 1036. Nothing really interesting going on there. Hungary, if you look at here, nothing interesting going on with Hungary here. This is a consolidation pattern that's slowly going down more and more. But now recently it just looks like it's trying to do a squeeze play. It's at a major resistance level right now, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Poland, same thing, consolidating between 23.20 and now the 25.19, so it's squeezing in. Romania, if you remember this was a nice bullish trend. This is continuing to go up, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get to around 8,000, believe it or not, by the end of this year. It broke the 7,000. Still looks very, very healthy to keep on going. So this is still very strong moving forward. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there. Slovakia, nothing going on here. Bullish trend here. Undergoing its first major pullback. The pullback level is going to be 204. Resistance level, that's key to determine if it turns into a major pullback or still is 213. That's the major resistance level. For it breaks that, will sit there, retest this high, and have a high probability of continuing to go up. If it holds it, it's going to come back down, possibly break that 204 level, get to about 200, and may start a trend reversal, but we won't know for the next couple of months until we see exactly what happens at that resistance level. Russia, with all the news, you would think this market's tanking. Actually, it's not. It's actually holding this 29.63 level. Very, very good. It's amazing how it's holding it here. Notice how it came up, pulled back here and there, here. This week and next week actually going to tell a lot about the Russian market, because if it holds here and starts to make a move back up to about 33.11, it possibly can break it. So it'd be interesting to see exactly what happens there. South Africa, if you look at a bullish trend here, it's going for its first major pullback. It's still very strong, but you can notice here at the top it's kind of consolidating. So the major pullback level now is 9,900 is a major support. Major resistance on this one is going to be 10,600. Until it breaks that 12,600, there's no way it's going to have a high probability of retesting the high or even breaking it. But if it holds that 12,600 level, this could easily sit there and turn into a trend reversal or a consolidation pattern that gets lower. Right now, you could see this consolidation pattern. It's going a little higher, higher, higher. So this still has a lot of bullish momentum here. So hopefully it could break that 10,600 level and continue to go up. We're now going to move over to Turkey. Turkey's really not doing anything at all except consolidating. It is more tilted towards the bearish side right now, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen. Minor resistance level, it's at 1 now. Next one's going to be at 45.25, which is basically a major one. If it sits there and holds that resistance level here and then makes a move down, this is going to retest this low here and possibly go lower. But this is a consolidation pattern that's slowly depleting to go lower. Israel, you could see here is still in a nice little bullish trend here. Kind of held this little support here at 58, 53. It didn't even quite get there, but went there and broke a resistance at 62.44. Looks like it's trying to retest a high now. And if it does, it'll sit there and have a high probability to keep on going up. Saudi Arabia, if you remember, this has been going up and then tearing up, and this is continuing to go up over and over and over. Probabilities of it getting to 11,500 at least by the end of this year is high. And notice this has not even pulled back, not even slightly. This is a nice little straight line shot up, and you could see from the daily hasn't even penetrated the Tinkinson, which is support resistance for the last 9 bars. So this is still going up very strong. So this is the hottest country right now as far as markets are concerned, being bullish. Dubai, here you could see here still has not gone for a major pullback at all. It's trying to retest this high here. If it retests that high and breaks it in the next couple of weeks, retest the high in a week or two, then we could sit there and have a high probability of breaking that. If it takes a couple of months to get to that high, then it's going to have a low probability of breaking that high. So we'll have to see exactly when it gets to that high. Abu Dhabi is retesting the high very closely right now. So this is still in the bullish trend, has not gone for a major pullback at all. Bahrain, bullish trend here, has not gone for a major pullback at all. And you guys could see the support resistances. Kuwait, here, So this looks the weakest of all of them, believe it or not, but believe it or not, it still has not gone for a major pullback. Held a support at 1142, which is the do or die point for a major pullback, and kind of held it and kept on going up to retest the high. Oman, still very strong here. It still has not gone for a major pullback. It's approaching the resistance level of 74.68. Qatar, still very strong here. So you notice a lot of the Middle East countries that were at pullback, minor pullback levels, not even major, are now retesting the high. And you can see Saudi Arabia is really, really high too, and keeps on going up. So the Middle East right now is the hottest markets out there. And if you look at them, Dubai is the strongest of all of them. And then if you look at who's the weakest of all of them, it'll probably be Kuwait, but that's not even weak either at all compared to a lot of the European countries. That's the stuff that's going on there. Let's go over to Asia now. Let's start with China and move our way down. Remember, we've been long Hong Kong market and short the Chinese market. There's a pairs trade. You can see in the Chinese market even this nice little upward move that was just bouncing off the consolidation pattern, which is the bottom, which is around 2132. Has a high probability of now approaching the 2376 level, which is the top of the consolidation pattern. Hong Kong, this was stronger than the Chinese market, and you could see why. Nice bullish trend here, approach the 25,000 level, bounce off there. Looks like it's going to do a pullback. Hopefully it pulls back to about 23,920, holds it there, and if it does, it's going to sit there and make a move to come all the way to 26,000 level. So this is still very strong compared to the Chinese market. So while the Hong Kong market starts to approach, the 26,000 level, it looks like the China market will be approaching its top of this consolidation pattern. So Hong Kong is starting a bullish trend, is in a bullish trend, whereas the China market's in a consolidation. Korea, it's in a consolidation. You could see here between 251 and 272, so nothing really exciting going on there. Japan market, if you look at the Japan market here, nice bullish trend here. Still has not gone for a major pullback. Kind of held this 14,000 level here. And now the key thing is, what's it going to do? It's got to sit there and come back and start closing above the 14,759 level. If it doesn't, it's going to go at its first major pullback. And the pullback levels, it could come all the way down to 13,000 or even 12,215. So this Japan market really needs to start moving and not break the support, and needs to break this minor resistance level here at 14,759, and then starts to make a move up. The longer it doesn't break that resistance level, the longer it's going to have a high probability of breaking down and start getting down into a major pullback level to start going lower. Malaysia market still holding on here, consolidating here at the top of this bullish trend here, still holding on to the support here at 1833, trying to make a move for 1892. Singapore market is strong bullish. You notice this is trending now, so you can sit there and go long the Singapore market and short the Malaysia market because this is stronger than Malaysia right now. And this is trending up here because notice this broke its consolidation pattern, didn't even come down to the support here, kind of held up here, and then held here at this minor support at 61.81 level. Thailand, if you remember, a lot of the southeast small countries like Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, and so forth were bullish trend and then went for a major pullback, and now they're looking to retest the high. This right here broke a resistance at 1555, so it looks like it's sitting there trying to get 1600 and then possibly get to this pivot high level here. So this is sitting there trying to get to that level here. This is very strong here to a point. It's got a high probability of retesting the high. As far as breaking that high, the probabilities are low, so what we're estimating is it's going to retest that high, and at that point it'll probably start entering a consolidation pattern. Indonesia, you could see here it's pretty much retesting the high, so this is stronger than the Thailand. It's retesting a high here. 52.38 is a major resistance there, so we have to see exactly what happens here. This pullback here was deep and took too long, so the probability of breaking this high are low. However, it did get there very fast without doing any pullback, so it could sit there and change, especially if you look at the quarterly of the chart. It still is very strong, so the higher time from the monthly could override it. Philippines, it looks weak right now compared to Indonesia and Thailand. And you could see here that basically it hasn't even broken this resistance level of 42.16. So this is probably the weakest of these Southeast small countries out there. So if you're really looking to do a pairs trade, you could go long the Indonesia market and short the Philippines market. You should be fine there. Or you could go long the Thailand market and short the Philippines, whichever way. Vietnam really not doing anything, consolidating, had a chance to sit there and maintain going bullish, didn't hold the support, broke down. So this looks like it's there. It could enter a consolidation pattern, or it could sit there a bearish trend. If it breaks the support 15,000, then this is going to enter a bearish trend to the downside. Australian markets continuing to go up, still has not really gone for its first major pullback at all. Broke the resistance of 55.26 and now looks like it's trying to head to about 5,800. So there's high probability now of reaching 5,800 by the end of the year. So keep an eye on that one. If you look at New Zealand, it looks strong. It looks cleaner than the Australian market, so this is strong here. Broke the resistance at 51.88 last week, and it could sit there and keep on going higher, but we have to wait and see exactly where it does go. But this has not gone for a major pullback either. Okay, so now let's go over to North and South America. Let's look at the Dow here. Look at the Dow. Remember, these are not the futures. On Twitter, we actually post the futures for the Dow, the S&P, and so forth, and we even give you targets for those there. They're more continuous products. They're 24-hour products. These are more on US-based times. If you look at the Dow, it's basically approaching a major resistance. It's at the major resistance 17,101. So we have to see exactly what happens there. This still has not gone for a major pullback, and the momentum still strong to the bullish side. If you look at the S&P, that did break the resistance last week at 1990. So it did break it and close above it. So this is stronger than the Dow right now. And then if you look at the NASDAQ, that's the strongest of all the markets, and we've been talking about that for the last couple of weeks in our bi-weekly videos, how NASDAQ's stronger than all the other markets. So if you really did a pairs trade on NASDAQ and then kind of did a short on the Dow, you're actually doing really well for the pairs trade. You could see here, broke the resistance at 39.92, broke the 4,000, and it's continuing to make a move to go higher. So the Dow is lagging compared to the S&P, and the NASDAQ is kind of leading. So the NASDAQ is leading, Dow is pretty much lagging. The Canadian market here, it should be coming up shortly. For some reason it's not. There we go. The TSX is on fire too. Notice this looks very similar to the NASDAQ market here. So if it broke the resistance at 15,444 and it's continuing this journey to go up. So this is very strong too, like the US market. Mexico, if you look at Mexico, it's approaching its resistance at 45,792, and let's shrink this down, and you could see it's pretty much retesting this high here. So this is at the top of its consolidation pattern that we've mapped out here, which is the all-time high. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens with the Mexico market. The probabilities are low, and they're breaking here, so we have to kind of see exactly what happens here. But the probabilities are low, but of course you have to wait, because there are probabilities, nothing's concrete, so we have to wait and see what happens. But Mexico is at its major resistance now. Argentina, which led the markets all last year, look at this thing. It's continuing to go up, pretty much going very close to 10,000. It's continuing to keep on going up. This thing's on a tear to go up. Broke every minor resistance level. So Saudi Arabia and Argentina are kind of competing for the top markets in the world right now. Santiago, Chile, really not doing anything here. Bearish trend, major pullback level, resistance level is going to be 4,069 level. That's the major resistance level to determine exactly what happens. In Brazil, a lot of people have been talking about that in Brazil market, how it's nice broken out. If you look at the Brazil market here, let's shrink this down. This does not look like a bullish trend at all. In fact, it looks like an ugly bearish trend here. It broke a resistance at 60,574. Next level 63,190. And you could see what it did. It retested low here, 45,000. And we talked about it, high probability getting here. When it got to here, if it broke that, then it definitely was going to get to 60,000, which it did. Now the next level is here. So I think what will happen is it'll get to about this level here, and then it'll probably sit there and consolidate and take a breather, because this move from 45,000 to 60,000 plus as being huge, and in a short amount of time, believe it or not, to a point it'll probably stop here 63,000. But a lot of people are now entering this bullish, but I'll be very, very careful, because you're still approaching major resistance levels. And if you look at this chart in general, there are a lot of resistance levels to keep on going higher, and this is still, if you look at it quarterly of this chart, it still looks like it's going down. So I'll be very careful on sitting there trying to think this is bullish. Let me see if I can get you a quarterly. I'm not sure. Well, actually, sorry. Quarterly actually shows it bullish. It bounced off the cloud, so it's approaching the 63,190 level here. So it'd be interesting to see exactly what happens there, because that's critical. If it breaks that, then it'll definitely get to 70,000. But we definitely were waiting for it to sit there and see exactly what will happen at this level here. We expect it to pull back at least, and then kind of see exactly what happens after that point. I think that's it for this week for the video. Hope everyone enjoyed it. I will. Can you find the PowerPoint? There we go. Here are contact details again. I will see you guys in 2 weeks.